everybody, and welcome to Mary Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Yes, and what a variety we have today.
Yes.
What a bunch of topics we're going to talk about.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
What comes first? I don't know.
Yes.
No, I'm Kaye Lazar, and the announcer of the show.
Hey, great. Welcome.
Oh, wow. What happened to my buttons on this thing? It's all different.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Oh, they're all different. Actually, I did this. I did it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anybody notice me? I got a haircut.
Yes.
Yay.
We're all concerned with our appearance today.
Yeah.
And you look great.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank
with
you.
your haircut.
Thank you.
My grandmother got a haircut, and she doesn't look like an old lady anymore. Now she looks like an old man. And let's see, and I got a haircut. I got a haircut a while back. Yeah. Good. The difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is 2 weeks. But I don't really like spending money on haircuts. Why am I doing this?
I don't really like spending money on haircuts either, but I had to get it done.
Now, was it getting like unruly? Was it like down?
Yeah, it was. It was
down your back.
It was kind of a pain in the butt. It was hard to take care of, by the way. So.
Yeah. Crystal Gale. Remember Crystal Gale with all her long hair?
Yes.
Crystal Gale was once interviewed, I think by Johnny Carson or something, and said, why, is there any problem with having such long hair? She goes, yeah. She goes, about once a week it falls in the toilet. I've never had that problem. I have that hair. Can't really tell today because I got it cut.
Yeah.
But when it's longer, it becomes all curly like an afro. Almost.
Yeah.
And it turned that way when I was like 13 years old, puberty, and then it just went crazy. And there's no explanation. It went back, and I was doing all these things to straighten it out, sleeping with stocking caps on, and mashing it down, and all this stuff. And then probably after a year or two of this self-loathing of my hair, everything was going wrong for me around 13 to 18. It was a terrible time. But the hair was kind of. One thing was while I had other problems like pimples and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
so did I.
I never got all that taller.
Right.
I pretty much stopped getting tall, growing when I was about 16 or so. So I've kept my weight down. So and I'm pretty healthy.
Yeah,
but
me
what
too.
was weird about my hair was, the hair was a blessing because that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because while I was trying to mash it down and making it straight, everyone I saw with straight hair was trying to make theirs curly with the spit curl irons and the rollers and everything and doing and permanent. Oh, in my day it was permanence and everything. So I said, maybe I should just let my hair just go wild, and I did. Yeah. I never got it long though. Yeah. Like the Beatles or something. It went like out. Yeah. It never went down my back. It never really went past. Right. Got to my shoulders. One day I had my hair was long, and this was actually in my 30s, I think. I had my hair longer than usual. I should have got a haircut at that point. And someone says, I think you can get a ponytail. So we went swimming, and they put my hair in a ponytail, and we went swimming, and it was kind of cool. And I spent the rest of the day with these people. The big knot where my ponytail was never dried out, so it was like having this cold thing at the back of my neck all day. Wow. I said, I'm never having a ponytail again.
Ponytail.
Now what, in a play or in a movie, they gave me a wig with a ponytail because back in the Revolutionary War they all had ponytails. Oh yeah. You had Thomas Jefferson and all of them. They had powdered wigs.
I know that. Yeah.
So when I was in the miniseries, and I was also in John Adams, I had to dress up in Revolutionary War, colonial times, I guess they called it, and everything. So, but your hair looks great now.
Thank you.
When you get your hair cut, is it like a big good to do? Like, do you get the hair washed and the cuticles done and the Palmolive dishwashing detergent on your fingernails?
I got my hair washed and rinsed, and they cut it. All that stuff, and they give me the special shampoo. called Paul Mitchell Tea Tree Special Shampoo.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help my scalp. You know.
And it's free?
It wasn't. I didn't pay for it for free. They sold it to me, but I told them that I wanted to buy it because I felt it when they used it on me.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, I gotta get some of this. So.
Oh, well, this is how I get haircuts. I don't like getting my hair washed, and I like it nice and greasy and
Ew, gross,
licey and,
gross.
and scabies.
Yucky.
No, no. When I get my hair cut, they usually spray it with water,
Yeah.
and then they cut it.
Yeah.
But then what happens is I sometimes it's included in the price, and then then I say, well, if it's included in the price, I'll get my hair cut.
Yeah.
Sometimes they massage it with the hot towel on.
Oh,
Sometimes
I like that.
They give you the whole schmear, but for the most part, I just go there. They wet my hair. I get it cut, and then I'm out. And I never have a bad haircut. I mean, very rarely do I get a haircut I don't like, and the reason why is I have a picture of myself when I had a good haircut, and I show it to them. I said, "This is how I want my haircut,"
Yeah.
and they'll say, "Oh, for a guy your age or a guy with gray on the sides or something, you could do it this way or that way." I said, "No, just do it in the picture, and I will be happy. Nothing fancy." When I
Yeah.
and also I don't really like a lot of this. I kind of like my hair a little longer than this because then I could because there's all these bald spots and everything, and I like that when it's longer I can swirl it around, look like I have more hair. Let me tell you, when I get out of the pool.
Yeah.
When I get out of the pool, or when I get a haircut or something, I basically have a mohawk. Right?
Oh yeah.
I should be an Indian. I should be a Natty Bumpo.
Or Hiawatha.
I should be Hiawatha's a girl.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, is she?
No,
Hiawatha is it a boy or girl?
I think it was a boy. It was a boy.
Maybe it was a boy. Yeah. Hiawatha. I was thinking Pocahontas.
Because I used to have a book of Hiawatha.
Oh, Hiawatha is a boy. Yeah.
Hiawatha and the Big Flood.
Yeah.
And I used to have one of those Disney books that that you sit to wait for in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I opened the book and I look how cute little Hiawatha was.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god, he's so cute. He looks like a little baby.
Little boy.
Yeah.
Little boy baby.
Like how the cartoons they shape so cute and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hiawatha. I was like, oh look at Hiawatha. he was so little. And he looks like a little toddler or something.
Yeah. We tend to think of people as like I saw it in a movie once where people were praying to the baby Jesus.
Oh.
Like Jesus never got older.
Aww.
He's just a baby. We know I was talking about this with somebody else. We don't really know a whole lot about Jesus before he was 30 years old.
Yeah.
He had a lifetime. And people say, what was he doing until he was 30? He goes, well, the baby Jesus was learning to become a carpenter and just living a regular life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden everything changed.
Yeah.
Now let's see. I had friends. They were like obsessed with their hair. They I was just talking to somebody the other day. They said that they didn't really pay too much opinion of shampoo until Clairol Herbal Essence shampoo came.
Oh, I used to love that when I was a kid.
Yeah, because it smelled so good. It smelled like flowers.
It did smell really good.
It smelled like flowers.
Yeah, I love that stuff growing up. So.
Well, I never paid any attention to shampoo when I was growing up.
Even my mom used it when she was a kid.
Yeah.
So she passed it down to me. Yeah.
Oh man, I used to use anything that we had in boys are pretty easy to raise when it comes to hygiene. Whatever you buy them, whatever soap you buy them, they're fine with.
I could give you a list of shampoos I use for kids. Clairol Herbal Essence.
All right.
It was a shampoo that came out years ago in the 90s called Outrageous.
Outrageous, all right.
And we use Germac.
All right.
And Suave.
Suave, yeah.
VO5, which my dad still uses. My dad uses it, and I don't use
the Dollar Tree, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Suave and VO5. You can still get it like, the Dollar Tree and Walmart and places like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay a whole lot for it.
And Head and Shoulders.
Oh, okay. Forget about Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, and there's other shampoos that I remember, but
Head and Shoulders was really the Marine Corps of shampoos. you did not. It was this blue harsh stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if you had any sort of fine hair, like if you were an older man that was losing his hair, the last thing you wanted to use was Head and Shoulders, because Head and Shoulders was pretty rough. It wasn't gentle on anything. It was, its job was to get rid of dandruff, obviously. And they used to have these awful commercials that kind of embarrassed you about your dandruff or something. When actually, the more you used Head and Shoulders, and I knew people used it like maybe once or twice a day. We're talking high school, but and it would irritate their scalp so much that they would get this scalp condition that looked like dandruff, which is weird because they were trying to get rid of the dandruff.
Yeah.
Made no sense.
Yeah.
But my mom was pretty good about my hair. She would tell me that, if you had a dandruff problem or something. You ever notice, who has dandruff problems? People with very good hair, very thick black hair. That's the best hair you want to have. You don't want the thin hair that that you're losing. He said, and it reminds me. So whenever you see a guy with a thick gray hair, an old guy, or thick black hair when he's younger, he probably has a dandruff problem. He has like Al Pacino or something. Probably has to use Head and Shoulders a lot.
Yeah, when I used to use Head and Shoulders, it would still, make my hair greasy.
Oh, it'd make your hair greasy. Yeah, I don't think it's not a perfect. It'll dry out your hair. I mean,
it kind of like
we're going to be sent a case of.
It kind of felt like my hair was dirty. It was still dirty.
Yeah. But Head and Shoulders. One thing someone told me about Head and Shoulders, I don't know if this is true. They said that there was this cleaner that cleaned floors called Janitor in a Drum.
Oh, really?
They said that Janitor in a Drum was easier on your hair
than
Head and Shoulders.
Wow.
Now Head and Shoulders. What else can I tell you about Head and Shoulders? My mom would, whatever we had, we would use. But there was these shampoos when I was a kid. You didn't mention like Prel and Pert, and they were pretty rough on your hair too.
I used to use Pert.
Pert, yeah.
And Prel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I just use whatever's on sale.
Now all I'm going to use now is Paul Mitchell Tea Tree Special Shampoo.
Yes.
That's like the best out of all of them.
I only use Paul Mitchell when I go to the hotel. They usually have little samples of it.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. Paul Mitchell's good. It has that coconut smell to it. Like wash your hair with coconut water.
Yeah, we used to use the original one, Paul Mitchell. Mm-hmm. I think my aunt used to like it years ago, and I think we started using it. So.
I remember they don't sell this shampoo anymore, but it was so cool. It was called Body on Tap, and what it was it had beer in it.
Oh yeah.
And they advertised it. Body on Tap. Obviously, it sounds like it has beer in it. And we used to. That's when boys like myself started to get interested in shampoo for the first time. We were married, 16 years old, 15, because we think, oh man, if we use enough of this stuff, we can get drunk. It'll absorb through our head.
Wow.
And no, because I think there was, and we heard all these things when I was growing up. Egg shampoos.
Oh yeah.
Egg. There's actually a bird poop conditioner, really, like the bird poop coffee, Kopi Loak or something. There were all these people would just stick anything in their hair to condition it or something. Yeah. And this day I don't really like conditioner. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because you wash your hair and it's kind of gets squeaky clean, and you kind of like it, at least after you've done it.
Yeah.
And then you put the conditioner in it, and it kind of just this sludge that just greases up your hair again.
Yeah.
I never really got into gel, pomade, all that stuff. There was a time though my hair was just getting so out of control that I had to put like Brill cream or something.
Oh, okay.
Our dad's generation, they still do that stuff.
Yeah.
Groom and Clean, what is all that? Brill cream, Vitalis, all that stuff they put in their hair. Gosh.
Yeah.
I had a friend come over once and spend the week at my house years ago, and he said, "I've never seen a guy with more hair products in his bathroom." I said, "If you notice, I don't use them. They're just piled up."
Yeah.
I bought them, used them once, and I never got rid of them.
Speaking of egg shampoo that you
Yeah.
were talking about earlier, when I was in high school, and I think I was about 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got a perm.
Yeah.
That's about the only time I got a perm. Never.
Yeah.
It didn't really last long.
Yeah.
But when when they permed my hair smelled like eggs. I'm serious, like
Yeah.
like some kind of stuff.
All the
they put
chickens following you home.
some stuff they put on me or something.
Yeah.
It kind of smelled like egg,
Yeah.
like gassy egg.
Oh yeah, like a rotten egg.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I can imagine. Eggs don't have a nice. When you're sick, eggs have the worst smell in the world. When you're eating them and you're feeling good, then you don't really notice it. But then when you're feeling good, don't bring me any more eggs. I once had a 3-egg omelet,
Yeah.
and
I love omelets.
this is the point I'm making in this one was there was a 2 eggs. How did it work out? It was 2 eggs for like $8, or a 3-egg omelet for $8 at the restaurant. I said, I think I have one over on the, the restaurant. I'm going to order the 3-egg so I get an extra egg for free.
Yeah.
I ate the 3-egg omelet.
Mm.
And I don't think you should eat more than 2 eggs in a sitting. 1 egg is not enough. They're like martinis. 2 eggs is too many. Anyway, 2 eggs is just right. Anyway, 3 is too many. And then I'm not kidding. I had to go home after that. It was just coursing through my vein, all this cholesterol or something.
Oh wow.
Albumin, everything. I had to go home and take like a 3-hour nap, 1 hour for each egg.
Yeah.
But yeah, eggs, egg shampoos. What else? So the longest hair I ever saw, and we've probably heard of this singer. He's a very popular singer, David Allan Coe.
Oh yeah.
David Allan Coe, I hadn't seen in years. I mean, he hasn't been on TV or Hee Haw or any of these shows. David Allan Coe is famous for being like he was an ex-con, and he's kind of a troubled guy. And almost every time he performs somewhere, he doesn't show up on time. Sometimes he doesn't show up at all. But the show was supposed to be at 8:00, and they put out the warm up, and the warm up tried to perform like a hour and a half show, and he's good. and then we waited. When's he coming? When's David Allan Coe? And they said, listen, it was something like at this point 10:30, and the show was supposed to be at 8:00. And they said it was like 10:30. They said, listen, he is on his way. He's coming from maybe 75 miles away.
Right.
But he's taking his time getting here, and he will be here. If you want your money back, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay, stay. And he actually did come at something like after 11 o'clock. He just came out, and there was no fanfare to know that. He just came out and started playing. And I didn't know what he looked like other than album covers, from like 20 years earlier. He had hair.
Wow.
Down to pretty much the back of his knees.
Wow.
I've never seen anybody, not even a woman, with hair that long.
Wow.
And there was a guy who evidently never cut his hair.
Wow.
Over probably maybe 30 years or so.
Wow.
I still couldn't believe that anyone could have hair that long.
Right.
Longer than Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
The Rapunzel hair.
Yeah.
And that was the longest hair I've ever seen. My mom, whenever I got a haircut, I got a bad. There's a lot of photos of me with what my mother thought was long hair, like a girl. And I got. What I was upset about every time I got a haircut, she would take a picture of me. Oh, now that's how you should look. And and my mom had crazy things. My dad would say the same things. He goes, when you join the Army, you're going to have to get a crew cut. They don't ask you how you want your hair. They just take a razor.
My mom used it in like short hair on girls.
Yeah.
But one time, I was getting my hair cut when I was in 9th grade, and I had it short, kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
And my aunt encouraged me to get my hair cut. My other family members too. Yeah. Except my mom, she'll be like, I want her hair staying long. I don't want her hair short.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, I'm sorry, she'll look better with short hair.
Yeah.
Because she's going to look all grown up. Get ready for high school.
I grew up like when the Beatles were popular, and the Beatles had this long hair. So I tried to make my hair as long as I could before I get it cut, because I was kind of like almost dragged, kicking and screaming to a barber to get my hair cut. And you're talking about a 6-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid. Sometimes probably up until maybe 16, I was that way. And so I'd get so I would. So what's weird is like I would contend that other people had longer hair than me at school, and then it all came out when my mom came to the school and started looking around, started asking questions of what I was, the veracity of my answers, and she goes, "Who has the longest hair in this class?" I said, "Oh, Kevin, obviously."
So who said that?
Oh, everybody.
Oh, okay.
And in other words, I never thought my mom would go to the school and start asking questions about stuff. There was one kid, his name was Tommy. Mm-hmm. I may have spoken about him before. This kid, Tommy, who had maybe a little longer hair than me. And when we say long hair, it was basically the Beatles type haircuts, almost like the Mo haircut. It wasn't like long like a girl, like flowing locks. It was basically just bangs and over your ears, but it wasn't long. And everyone, this is the World War II generation, our parents, so they all had crew cuts. So they thought, somebody said I heard a comedian once say that whatever age you are, that you get the most girlfriends is the haircut you're going to keep for the rest of your life. That's why you see guys from the 1950s and 40s with crew cuts. They still have them because I got the girls then, and they should still get the girls. And hippies have the long hair from the 60s. So in the 70s. So anyway, there's this one kid, and this guy was a genius at telling stories about how he lives. He would tell us all these stories about. He had a TV set in his house. In his room, a black and white TV set, color TV. Even a color TV was a big deal in my day. But he had a color TV in the living room and a black and white set in his room. So he could watch TV almost all the time. So the next day, he would always tell us about shows we couldn't watch, like Mannix and Cannon, shows like that. Johnny Carson. Mm-hmm. He would tell us all about who was a guest on Johnny Carson. And Don Rickles was so funny. Yeah. And did you see Groucho? He was on there too. And go, why? We missed that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it turned out under cross-examination by my mother and the school teacher, who a lot of kids' parents complain about this kid because we're trying to put our kids to bed at 6:30 at night. At 6:45 if they're good. Yeah. and there's this one kid just stays up all night watching television, and he's upsetting all of us because we want to raise our kids better, and his mother's a bad example of how she's raising them. So under cross-examination, he had to admit that he went to bed every night at like 8:30.
Oh wow.
And he knew about all these TV shows by reading TV Guide synopsis, and we couldn't question it. We didn't see it, so we would.
So he never watched those shows.
Yeah,
but he just read some kind of advertisement.
Yeah, he read the little thing in the paper or in the TV Guide explaining what the show was. So of course, if we went to the TV Guide, he did see it.
Yeah, but it still didn't give you, to tell how much that he thought Don Rickles was so funny.
Well, he probably saw Don Rickles on some show, maybe in the summertime. I mean, Don Rickles and Groucho and people like that were always funny. Yeah. So if you saw them on some show, so they were going to be funny. Yeah. Rodney Dangerfield, Jackie Gleason. There were some people that were always funny when we were kids. Phil Silvers, always funny if he was on a talk show or something. So anyway, so he had to go in front of the class. It's so humiliating to admit that he was just making it all up.
Yeah, that's what some people think. Like if they never watch the shows and they just like read like an advertisement, they're gonna think that they're not telling the truth.
Well, it doesn't end because I know people that, we do a show. I do quite a few shows,
Yeah.
and I always ask people, "Did you see it?" "Oh yeah, I saw it. And they probably saw a minute or two of it,
Yeah.
so they could get back to me. "Oh, I like the way you were talking about shampoos and haircuts." "Oh yeah, you did see the show," but they didn't see the show. Sometimes did you read? Even worse, if shows are one thing. If you wrote a book, did you read my book? "Oh yeah, I read your book." If they wrote a book.
Yeah. True, yeah.
But anyway, actually, in a way, this kid, his name is Tommy. I'm not going to tell you any more about this kid, tell you any more about his real life.
Yeah.
But there were some really weird things about this kid. Now that I look back on it, for one thing, he had to go in front of the class to admit that he didn't watch all these TV shows. There's something in the back of my head that thinks that maybe he was watching them, and he was simply just doing that because he was like reading from a like a POW. Confession.
I know some people do that because they want to get attention, probably.
Yeah.
And they want to look cooler.
Well, he did look cooler. We my mom, whenever she caught me cursing, she'd say, "You probably think you're a big man using those curse words all the time." And I said, "Yeah, I do, actually. And even my friends think I'm a big man by using the curse words." I don't think that way anymore. Because I don't really curse unless it's in the script or something. But I don't say heck or darn or poo poo or anything. I usually. Somebody said about cursing, if you just stop cursing, it'll help your vocabulary, because when in the olden days you only had one or two words that meant that was all your vocabulary, like you were in a Quentin Tarantino film,
yeah.
And you have to if you think, you have to think of other words, and so it broadens your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, boulder dash. These are words that are good to use.
Yeah, they take the place of the bad language.
Oh, that jackanapes.
Yeah.
All Shakespearean sounding.
Right.
And there's one other thing I got to tell you about this kid. And I think I used to visit this kid all the time. He didn't have too many playmates, and neither did I. But when we kind of clicked together, I usually click with the weirdest people.
Yeah.
Like you. No, like.
Thanks.
I click with everybody, really. Somebody says, "You and Mary have such good chemistry," or me and Gorgeous George or Vinnie Mac, or even in a play, "You have such good." I try to have good chemistry with everybody. I try to be like a jazz musician or anything. So anyway, so this kid had an old mother, two very much older sisters. He was probably like 8, and his sisters were like in their 20s. And then he had a father that I didn't really see too much. He'd just say hello to me and go into his room and do something. I'm starting to think that his mother, the old mother he had, was not his mother. May have been his grandmother. And his older sisters, one of them might have been his mother. Because in light of two famous people, Jack Nicholson and Bobby Darin, who we spoke about on the show, that happened to them, and I think this happened to only in retrospect. I haven't seen this guy in many years.
Wow.
I haven't seen this guy since elementary school, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And there was so you start to wonder about certain people you went to school with. They may think that I was the wild one, when actually I was rather boring.
Yeah.
Had all these sisters and lived far away from everybody.
Right.
I lived in an area where there wasn't a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a park nearby.
Yeah.
I had to walk I rode a bike a lot.
Oh, I was the same way with my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It wasn't really nothing to do.
Yeah. Read a lot.
Yeah.
Did a lot of drawing.
Right.
Yeah. And it's helped me immensely in my current state, doing all these shows and everything.
Right, yeah.
I'm making up for lost time. I'm trying to be a kid again.
Right. Yeah.
It said, what was the old joke? I'm never. It says you don't seem to grow old, Kevin. And I said, grow old? I haven't even grown up.
Yeah.
Oh man, That was wonderful.
Yes, and
I could do this. I could do another half of a variety hour.
Yes. Well, we're getting ready to take a little break in a few minutes. So, and thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back ASAP. May God bless you.